Hello, I'm Erin O'Brien, a member of the League of Women's Voters of the Greater Dayton area. I am here with two candidates competing in the Democratic primary on May 8th to represent their party in the general election for the 40th District in Ohio. The 40th District covers the northern part of Montgomery County. The winner on May 8th will face the Republican candidate Phil Plummer in the general election in November. The term of office is 2 years and the base salary is $60,584. The two Democratic candidates are Albert Griggs Jr. and Ryan Taylor. We're going to begin our interviews today by asking the candidates to tell us about themselves and why they want to serve as a state representative of the 40th District. Albert, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to serve?
Yep. Hello, my name is Albert Griggs Jr. I'm running for State House District 40. I'm running because I feel that we need to get integrity and ethics back into government. I sit down and I watch the government that I work for and studied and learned, and I watch how it's being treated, and I want to fix that. We need to fix that. We need to get the government so that the people once again believe in the government. A little bit about myself. I was born in Mississippi, raised in Indiana, and I moved to Ohio in 1988 with my first assignment at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And I've been here back and forth ever since. I had 4 tours at Wright-Patterson, and from that I went from Wright-Patterson to Colorado to Germany to the Pentagon. And I had a number of different assignments at high levels, working with different countries and doing a lot of things that quite interesting. I also had the opportunity to work as a congressional fellow with Congressman Tony P. Hall when he was congressman for the 3rd District of Ohio back in the 105th Congress. I had an opportunity to work on issues that really related to Montgomery County because at that point in time, the 3rd District of Ohio was Montgomery County. Had opportunity to write legislation that brought money to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Had opportunity to work on getting money for the Schuster Center and some things, funds for the airport. The tower, for instance. Also had the opportunity to work as a police officer in Los Angeles and as a steel worker in Gary Works, and also served in the Navy Reserve for active duty. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. Ryan, please tell us about yourself and why you want to serve as a state representative of the 40th District.
Thanks. My name is Ryan Taylor, and I would like to serve as a state representative for the 40th District. As a 3rd-generation resident of the 40th District, I have been very active in the community. I currently live in Butler Township. From there, I have 3 children who attend school. I've been married for 17 years, and I currently teach at Wright State University in the Department of Human Services. With that, I've been active in the community from Dayton Art Institute Associate Board, Habitat for Humanity, United Against Violence, and the Montgomery County Drug Coalition. I'm not a politician. I haven't ran before, but what I am is a counselor, and I'm an advocate. And so I'm looking to put my skills as an advocate for our community in the State House, understanding that we have the desire for change and the desire to be heard, and we have the opportunity coming up with May 8th and then again in November to vote to make that change happen.
Thank you, Ryan. Now I'm going to have you go ahead and lead on this next question as well, Ryan. If elected as the representative for the 40th District, what will be your #1 priority?
Thanks. My #1 priority for the 40th District in the state of Ohio is to work on our education, work on the education system in Ohio. What that is making sure that our students have the ability to be career and college ready at the end of their time in high school through K through 12. And we can start that early with preventative measures and self-regulation taught early in schools, starting in kindergarten, and then moving through middle school with the ability to determine and have experience with different career opportunities. Those career opportunities leading into more specialized high school programs that the students are currently taking advantage of, but the opportunity to expand on that and reach more students through STEM opportunities, College Credit Plus, and then working towards their career or college goals so that when they leave high school, they are prepared and ready to join the workforce or college. So with that, that brings into our economic development and improving the quality of life for all of our residents through economic development, having our students being ready to enter that workforce. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, Al, if elected as the representative for the 40th District, what will be your #1 priority?
My #1 priority would be to serve. As I said earlier, I believe that we need to have individuals that go into the House and other government jobs that are going there to serve the people, not themselves. I look to be able to be value added, looking to do things that the public needs, things for the public good, to fight for the things that the citizens are looking for, not to go there to be part of a crowd, but to go there and actually get something done and to actually show the citizens what service look like and to give them the things that they need. You know, looking at #1, like the school system, making sure that the public schools are strong and that they produce the students that we need. We need to maybe cut back on some of the money we put in the charter schools and put it back into the public schools. They talk about safety in the public schools. You know, if we were to take money that's going into the charter schools and put it in security for the public schools, you could have a lot more safety there. Looking at workers' rights, we need to make sure that we have strong unions so that we can defend the rights of our workers to be able to collective bargain and to be able to have a wage that is above poverty. So those are the things that I want to do. I really want to serve the people. I've watched the government, as I said, from inside the government as a career civil servant. And I love the government, and I really want it to be strong. I really want it to be trustworthy for the people to see what a trustworthy government would look like. And that's what I would do.
Thank you, Al. Back to you. Al, under what circumstances is it appropriate for the state to restrain or check local government?
I only see one place where the state should restrain local government, and that is if the local government is doing something that harms the citizens. I'm trying to think of something now that would fit that category, but something that maybe maybe gun law, something that is against the state, and the state's trying to put together something that makes the state citizens more safer, but the local municipality wants to do something else. That's the only time I see where the state should put some kind of restraint, or maybe there might be one other, where if the state, the local municipality wants to maybe spend more money than that they are allotted. Those might be the only 2 times that I think there might be some restraint put on there. But other than that, I think the state should let the municipality operate on its own.
Thank you. Ryan, under what circumstances is it appropriate for the state to restrain or check local government?
Under what circumstances is it appropriate for the state to restrain local government? The federal system, the state system, and our local government are intertwined in so many ways. So having said that, we rely on one another, and we have to have trust inside of that relationship. There are many times when the state and local government work together, whether that be through our police system and our funding inside of schools, inside of higher education and career tech services. So when they are working together with clear and transparent modes of communication, there's less likely the need for restraint when there is that opportunity for communication and making sure that we are all on the same page, working towards the betterment for all of Ohio.
Thank you. Back to you. Ryan, if elected, what will you do to ensure free and fair access to voting?
When elected, what would I do to ensure free and fair access to voting? Maintaining our voter registration and being able to access the polls for people with developmental disabilities and intellectual disabilities, also our population of people that have mobility issues for any reason, and making sure that they are accessible. While that is currently the rule of the land, it's not always something that's done. In addition to that, making sure our voter registration continues And with that, looking at different opportunities for automatic voter registration for citizens in Ohio so that they have access to the polls and it's not an extra step in the process. With that, once that occurs, or we're working towards that, then having the ability to maintain your registration, which is a current topic happening here in Ohio. Thank you.
Thank you. Al, if you're elected, what will you do to ensure free and fair access to voting?
Well, I believe that we need to make sure that the records are correct and that we check them as best as possible and not throw people off the roll because they missed one election or maybe even 2 elections. Maybe there should be a lot longer period before people are taken off the rolls. Also, as Ryan had mentioned, making sure that the polls are accessible to all the voters. For those with disabilities, make sure that they can get in. Also, I do believe that if you are voting, you should be able to identify yourself with something that says that you are a citizen to make sure that we get the citizens to vote. Also, we need to make sure that people are trained, but maybe not trained, but made aware of voting dates, the primaries, the general elections, making sure that individuals know that they need to make sure that they're on the polls and that they're on the voting ballots. Not ballots, I mean, on the voting registration list. General education to make sure that everyone knows properly how the voting, how it works, and not discriminate on anyone because of their ethnicity, religion, or wherever they come from.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Al, would you accept campaign contributions from the NRA, yes or no?
That's an interesting question. I believe in the Second Amendment. I own weapons. I fired weapons. I fire weapons. So I have no problem with the Second Amendment. It all depends on the strings that involve if the NRA wants to give me funds. We'd have to talk about it because I'd have to look at it. Because, as I said, I believe in the Second Amendment. I own weapons, and, but I don't believe that there's certain types of weapons that need to be out there. Automatic rifles, for instance, AR-15s. I think they belong with the military and not in people's homes. I think, the regular handguns, there's hunting rifles, shotguns, that's no problem. But when you start thinking about high-powered automatic, semi-automatic type weapons, you got to start thinking about the military. So those would be the issues I think myself and the NRA would have. But as long as we stay with the regular weaponry, there wouldn't be a problem. But we would definitely have to talk about it. Definitely have to look at the strings before accepting any money at all from them. But again, I support the Second Amendment. Have no problem with that.
Thank you for your answer. Ryan, would you accept campaign contributions from the NRA, yes or no?
As it stands today, my dad is a retired wildlife manager for the state of Ohio. My brothers are hunters. My family comes from a long line of hunters. We know and understand the use of guns in the environment. And with that, as the NRA stands today, and with the information that I've received from the NRA, I would not accept money today from the NRA. The tactics that I have experienced so far, especially in my campaign, are scare tactics. And when accepting money from any PAC or institution, for whatever reason, the level of integrity would have to go hand in hand on accepting that. Because when this campaign is done, I'm still Ryan Taylor, and I have to be able to realize what my future holds and what my children's future hold. And so with that, while I do support the I do support the Second Amendment, I do support guns with proper training and background checks. The NRA, as it stands today, is not something my level of integrity would accept money from. No.
Thank you for your answer. The next series of questions may not necessarily apply to the office that you're seeking, but is simply another way for us to help voters learn who you are. You're just responding to these questions yes or no.
Okay.
Remember that you will have the last word with a closing statement later, so if you do want to elaborate on the answer, you're going to get a chance later. There are 4 questions. Ryan, do you favor serious campaign finance reform? Yes or no?
Yes.
Al, do you favor serious campaign finance reform? Yes or no?
Yes.
Al, do you believe that climate change is a serious issue that must be addressed aggressively? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ryan, do you believe that climate change is a serious issue that must be addressed aggressively?
Yes.
Ryan, do you believe that the voter registration process should be simplified?
Yes.
Al, do you believe that the voter registration process should be simplified?
Yes. Most definitely.
And Al, do you favor a ban on assault rifles? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you favor a ban on assault rifles? Yes or no?
I do. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your answers. So we would like to provide each candidate with time for a closing statement. Thank you both for your participation today, and good luck in your campaigns. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot the closing statement.
Oh.
Okay. You're each going to have 2 minutes to respond. And it looks like, Ryan, we're going to start with you. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank you for inviting me, the League of Women Voters, as well as DATV. It's great that we have something like this in our hometown that we can access together. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
When it comes to the primary, this is just the start. This is the sprint and the marathon that we're going to encounter together as a community. It's the first step. And with that, I know my campaign, my candidacy can make the difference. And once we engage in those difficult conversations and engage each other in those difficult conversations, we as a state, Ohio, can do better. We can do better together.
Thank you.
So I vote for Ryan Taylor.
Thank you. And Al, do you have a closing statement for us today?
Yes, I do. Again, I would like to be able to represent the people of the 40th District in Columbus, because I believe that I have the experience and temperament to go in and to show how to serve, how to do the things that are necessary to do the public good, and to bring in what is called integrity, to have integrity up front, to do the things and to be able to reach out to people with an honest decor, so that people will realize that you're here to serve, that you're here for their good, not to be there for your good. Also, I'd like to be able to represent the people and show them that this government is a good government, that those who serve you in the government, for the most part, are there for the betterment. They don't make a lot of money because they're not there to make a lot of money. They're there to serve. And I've experienced that over the 30 years that I spent with the U.S. Air Force as a civilian employee. We were there because we wanted to be, because we wanted to serve the people, because we wanted to provide that security that the people would need to feel secure in the country and in themselves. So with that, I really would like to be the person that represents the 40th District. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. And once again, thank you both for your participation today. Once again, we have Albert Griggs Jr. and Ryan Taylor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please remember that the polls open at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday, May 8th. You can vote early starting April 10th, however. Remember, this election is a primary. The winner will face Phil Plummer, who is the nominee of the Republican Party in the fall election. To vote for a candidate on May 8th, you must ask for either a Democratic or Republican ballot. If you want to vote for an issue or issues only, no party ballot is necessary. Thank you for watching. But now I want to shamelessly plug the League of Women's Voters. The League never supports or opposes any candidate or political party. We are nonpartisan. We are all about educating voters and encouraging voter participation. Finally, I would like to thank DATV for helping us bring these discussions to you. They volunteer their time, expertise, and equipment. Thanks for watching, and be sure to vote.